Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Spirit Speaks. I am Rebecca, and
I am Burnett.
today we will be channeling Setha. It is.
It's an entity that I began channeling in the spring from, some people may be familiar with the entity Seth that was channeled a long time ago. And if you've already been on our channel, on our YouTube channel, then you know that we have some videos already of channeling Setha. And there's also one on the Lighter Side show on the Lighter Side Network with Jamie Butler where I channeled Setha. So this is another one. This is the first time we're doing this together.
Yes.
So I hope that it's enlightening to you and it's a new experience for the two
It's
of
a new
us.
experience for me. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Burnett has prepared the space and prepared herself for Setha coming through. So, we're not going to do a long introduction. We're going to allow them to come through. They will have a message and we'll have questions afterward.
Greetings. It is good to join you again. Thank you for choosing to spend this time with us. We have been waiting, but we know that you have been busy. So we are glad to return. There's a great shift happening now for your human population. The Earth itself, along with the entire planetary system that you reside in, is undergoing a shift driven by your sun. This is not something to be afraid of, but something to embrace, knowing that every shift brings change that is needed. And in this situation, and in this case, that change is needed. You all must realign your energy and your vibration with your higher selves and higher systems. Alignment will allow you to grow and to blossom as earth beings. This is what we wish for you. We wish for you to join us in your growth. Human beings are new on this planet compared to life systems that have been around since the beginning. Your earth is old, and by comparison, you are infants, learning to crawl, but it is time to walk. Walk with greatness and responsibility, understanding the impact that you have on your world, on your planet, on other people, on other lives, lives that are not human, the lives of animals, the lives of all living things. It is important that you walk with responsibility on this earth and not take it for granted, for she, while loving, is also alive. She wishes to live. She wishes to survive, and it is in her instinct to survive. Yes, that means that she will survive, just as she has outlasted every being, everything that has come before you. She will survive, even if she must begin again. She does not wish to do this. She has an affinity for man, but man does not seem to have an affinity for her. The things you are witnessing right now, in your weather, from the earth and the sky and the water, these elements, they represent her. They represent her struggling for survival. She wishes for your kindness and she wishes for your love. She does not wish to destroy her own self. She does not wish to be destroyed. She wishes to live. She wishes to be the supportive structure and system that she was created to be for life. Her heart beats strongly for you, but it also cries. It mourns what you could be if you chose to love not only her but yourselves. Be kind. Be kind to her. Yes, the storms, the storms you have experienced, they are the beginning, unless you choose a higher level of consciousness. Because your consciousness impacts all things, as all things are consciousness. Your consciousness impacts all things. Please understand, there is nothing that your global collective consciousness cannot impact on your earth, on your world. When you choose a higher level of consciousness, you will see a calming and a peacefulness in your experience with Mother Nature. The opposite also holds true. We wish for you that calmness. We wish for you that peace. We wish for you to have a calming of Mother Nature. Yes, there is a question.
So we are affecting our own weather.
Yes, you are. As within, so without, as above, so below.
So the impact that one part of the earth or countries or this country has, is that a result of the consciousness that is happening? Is that a result of the consciousness that is happening in this part of the country?
In a way. However, it is not so localized as to say that what happens in this city is a direct result of only the mindset of that city. However, there is an aggregation of energy, an aggregation of consciousness. And where that consciousness is aggregated, there's a likelihood of greater experiences that are in alignment with that level of consciousness. Like attracts like. Anger attracts anger. Love attracts love. Peace attracts peace. A calm attracts calm. A sunny outlook attracts a sunny outlook.
Okay.
However, your nation is great and its influence is far reaching. What you do here impacts everywhere.
Yes.
So we cannot be so selfish to think that if we just take care of one little piece of the world, then that one little piece of the world is fine when we all live together in one world. What happens on one side eventually rolls to happen on the other side and impact life everywhere. We cannot be so selfish to think we just take care of this piece, or that piece, or this city, or this continent, or this country, or this body of water, or this forest. It's a system that works together.
But doesn't it also work that if we can fix the issues in one area that has a lot of issues, that we can affect the rest of the world?
Yes, by that same token, yes. The same goes for the opposite. What is good impacts good. It yields more good.
How are we? What are some of the things that we are doing that has great negative impact? Where can we start? Where should we be starting?
It is our recommendation that you start with yourselves. Each individual. There is so much self-loathing, self-hate, self-feelings of unworthiness. If people could only find a way to love themselves, it would be so much easier to love everyone else. But for reasons that elude us, we cannot understand why you refuse to love yourselves. If you love yourselves first, start with the first person. It will be much easier to love everyone else. You would have less wars, hate, anger, and fighting. This situation where there are people who would kill each other just for being different, who would deny each other basic human rights for being different, would not exist if everyone loved themselves the way they should. For if you love yourself that much, where is the space to hate anyone else? It would not be there.
Okay.
Open the door to the heart. You open the door to the world.
Open the door to your own heart.
Yes.
And you open the door to the world.
Yes.
Why do we hate ourselves so much?
Well, we don't know the exact answer, but we do know that with Earth being the garden of learning, a garden of learning, you come here with more issues than those who may arrive on other systems. Your level of maturity is less at times. We send some who have higher levels in order to aid the progression of your humankind, humanity. However, there are many who are very mature in their levels of spirit and awareness of self. And so they vibrate in a place that is lower, that is open to not having love. And you are on this planet, unfortunately, where the lower beings often reside, and where people become stuck with the low vibration, and they feed off of you. But if you raise your vibration, if you raise your awareness, if you raise your level of consciousness, you won't be fed on. You won't be prey of the darker forces. But as it stands, one, so many are unaware of this, and two, so many do not understand how much capacity they have within themselves to love. And so they don't even tap in to pull it out.
How can we help each other?
How can we help each other?
Yes, how
Please.
can we help each other to love more, or be more open to love?
Communicate. Begin talking to each other. Not arguing with each other. We see this arguing with each other. It is not talking. It is not communicating. Communication requires an exchange of ideas, not a forcing of ideas. And there is a difference. Begin by communicating, by relating. You people enjoy eating, yes.
Yes, we do.
You enjoy eating. This is a garden, of course. Earth is a garden, so eating is very important here. And your food is break bread together. It is one of the oldest forms of getting to know your neighbor.
Yes, it is.
I invite people to invite others over to just break bread. Those who are different from them. Those who look different, speak different, act different, love different, worship different, believe different, whatever differences there may be, break bread together to understand them. You will find love there.
You said there were great shifts coming, and it's driven by the sun. Would you explain that a little more? What do you mean by great shifts?
Your sun is old, not ancient, but your sun is changing as well.
Okay.
It's hot. It's shooting, and it's hotter.
Okay.
And you are also experiencing a shift on your own planet. It is warming, partially due to that, partially due to you. You can't control the sun, you can control you. The shift, however, the shift we speak of is of consciousness, vibration, the forcing, the alignment of you with the greater system. So this is a shift that is not just coming, it is come, it is coming, it is present, it is ongoing at this very moment. It was ushered in at the time of the eclipse, and it is ongoing right now. Some people are embracing it, and some people are rejecting it, but we understand that you cannot reject the inevitable.
Okay, so how does this shift affect us?
How? It affects people in different ways depending on their vibration, depending on their level of awareness, depending on their consciousness. The goal of the shift is to raise everyone up. However, there are those who would resist it and fight back, and they sense this shift, that things are changing, and some people's response to change is to fight it.
Yes.
Others is to go with it. So those who go with it will ride through that shift and become new, become improved, become better, find a higher state of being. Their normal will be slightly higher. Those who resist it, whether consciously or subconsciously, will find that they will have a choice to change and remain on this planet if they feel that it still suits their spiritual and soul progression, or to leave if they do not feel that they can handle the shifts coming. How they leave will appear in different ways. It may be dramatic. We do not wish to discuss how people will choose to leave.
Okay. So are you saying that when this shift happens or is complete, we will be at those of us who remain on the earth will be at a higher state of consciousness?
Yes.
And does the earth shift to a higher state of consciousness as well?
The earth is already at that state.
Oh.
You must rise up to meet her.
Oh.
Or else.
Okay.
You must rise up to meet her.
Or we cannot remain on the earth because we will not be in alignment.
You will not be in alignment.
The vibration. And
she is not at peace right now. She is not at peace. And when she is not at peace, her systems display that.
So thus the weather we have been having?
Weather, yes. From within and above, the entire system reflects her emotions. Now she's feeling, and you affect those emotions. And so she needs you to be higher so that she's not being rained on with negativity. Do you understand?
So it's our energy, and it's how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about life and
each other and yourselves.
So that's what we need to change.
And a callousness towards everything that is not you.
Okay.
We wish for you to connect not just with each other, but with her other creations, the creatures that live here with you. Understand that this is their home too. And as you destroy it, you're destroying their homes, as well as your home, as well as the earth herself.
I see.
She wants you all to remain. We want you all to be able to continue using this garden because it is a beautiful place. It is beautiful.
It is. But I actually thought that our consciousness, especially toward other beings, animals, plants, and other life on the planet, I thought our vibration had been raised and elevated from what it had been.
From what it had been, yes. However, you shifted from your caveman days to your hate man days, where once you were focused solely on survival, and so you killed your animals because you needed to live, or because you needed to survive and they were attacking, and that relationship. You are no longer in fear of that. So you changed to create another enemy. So yes, you've raised your vibration and how you directly interact with these other lives. But indirectly, you're destroying the world because you're not even aware, or you do not care. I don't know which one it is. It is a combination, yes. You do not care or are unaware of the impact that everything you do has. And as you continue to grow and grow and grow, the earth is but so large. It has but so much resource.
Yes.
There is a limit to what, one, you need, and what, two, she can give. And greed is not an excuse. There is enough for all if there weren't greed. Here, there is enough for all if there was not greed.
Some of us cannot control the greed of others. And some of us, many of us on the planet, barely have enough.
So there's an excess on one hand and insufficiency on the other.
Yes.
So there is enough for all.
But without the change in consciousness, and how do you impact and affect those with excess to balance it out so that there's enough for those in need?
This is where the raising of the consciousness is required. If there are enough people who wish to see the world healed, who wish to see an equity in the lives of everyone who is living, if that consciousness is raised, the choices begin to change. The choices made by humans that impact humans begin to change. The choices made by humans that impact animals and land and the air and the water begin to change. Much of the hurt is not directly because someone is withholding. It is often because a system has been compromised and damaged because one group of people is seen as inconsequential.
Yes.
And so their land or their forests or their waters is depleted of resources or spoiled for greed. And then they cannot use it in order to become more equitably standing.
True.
When the rivers are polluted by industry, and that industry goes unpunished because they have enough money to pay for the law to be on their side,
Yes. So how do we?
then you have the issue of those who are without being unfairly impacted. However, when you have a consciousness that is collective raising, then you begin to have people in positions of power who money cannot buy. You begin to have people in positions of power in organizations who would normally do this that would say, no, it is not right. We will not pollute that river. We will not deplete that land. We will not disrespect these people. Begins to impact the choices made.
Will we be able to raise this consciousness without external help?
When you say external, what do you mean?
Outside of ourselves. I mean, I can only affect so many people in my circle. And there are those beyond, way beyond my circle, that are having greater impact into the lower vibration of things that are happening on the planet. How do we?
So your circle is beyond what you think your circle is. It is like the 100 monkey. You reach 10 people directly. Well, that consciousness that you've created becomes something that can reach others that you had not even thought of. It becomes a force around you, around them, around the others you've reached, and it grows on its own when you can continually grow and expand that consciousness. It reaches further than you think. You can make leaps and bounds over time and space. But you must continue to rise in consciousness as a collective. So yes, you will have the low vibrating beings, but low vibrating beings impact low vibrating things. And they impact the consciousness of those who may be vibrating at an average level, who at times flux up, flux down, those in the middle. They rarely impact those at the higher level for any sustained amount of time. But they can impact the middle. So you must get the middle and raise them up. You do this enough, the low vibrational beings have nothing to feed on. And they will also be influenced by the more positive vibrations. And over time, negating their negative vibrational influence. It will take time. But man is new. The earth is not.
Do we have time?
If you do not destroy your planet, yes. There are people who seem bent on destroying the planet, and they don't even know it.
How can we help them to
Raising.
see?
You must raise your consciousness. Meditation, visualization of a healed planet, calling them out in your meditations, speaking to their higher selves, speaking to their lower guides. Understand that they have guides who are higher, they have guides who are lower. Speak to their lower guides who may not have the highest good of all concerned. Speak to their lower guides.
That happens?
Yes.
Okay.
You would need to influence them at the spiritual level to shift their consciousness. This is a good time for this.
So it's been said that if I raise my consciousness in this one space, then I affect those that are around me?
Yes, energy moves between you, yes. It's little waves everywhere. You cannot see them with your eyes. But it is moving constantly between you and you. When you raise yours, your energy reaching out now is new energy. It's higher. And when it hits someone else, their energy can't help but also be raised a little bit higher. Now, it is important that those with the higher vibrations protect their vibration, protect themselves. Because there's polarity. Anything that goes up can go down.
Yes. Okay.
Protect yourselves so that those who are Those who are with the negative rays don't influence you. Keep
Oh,
guarded.
because those rays go out as well.
They go out as well.
Hmm.
And right now there are many negative rays. They mm, they're stronger because there's so much passion behind them. Understand that fear and anger and hate are such passionate emotions
Yes.
that the force of them is a harder force than love, which is a gentle force. And so they come out faster and harder, if you understand,
Mhm.
and more forcefully. So where fear, anger, and hate move like this, love and peace move like this.
But shouldn't love and peace be stronger?
They are stronger. But fear hits you hard, and it affects you in an emotional state. Once things affect you emotionally, it changes your energetic vibration,
Okay.
and it hits you quickly. It it's visceral. It's ancient. It's a survival emotion.
And it causes a great shift when it hits you.
Yes, it causes an immediate reaction. It's due to the survival instinct. As I mentioned, you are a new people. You still have these instincts of survival and pack mentality. And so those things were necessary to survive at one point,
Mm-hmm.
which is why they're fast and they're hard.
Yes.
Love is softer. Peace is softer. They're stronger, yes, but they're softer.
So it almost feels like and sounds like you have the fear, anger, and these negative emotions impacting and shifting us all the time. Yet we have the love. So are they competing with each other?
In a way, for your words and your understanding, in a way, yes. Love does not seek to compete with anything. It seeks to give itself to all things. It seeks to be everywhere because it is. Everything contains it. It contains that love. It flows through everything. However, the emotional state of man can sometimes get in the way of being able to recognize it, open it, reveal it, receive it, and give it.
Hmm. How do we affect the consciousness and help others to shift if the impact is going to be hard and forceful and strong, causing its own shift?
Well, if those who have love as their primary anchor protect themselves in that and then share their love, send it back out to those who need it.
Mm-hmm.
It presses up against all the other darkness. And it softens it. And over time, it'll press in.
So it sounds like we need to send the love to those who are.
We need to send love to the world, to every person. Send the love out. Send the love to anyone you consider to be in a place of darkness, a place of anger, a place of fear, a place of hurt. Send love to them and soften them. it'll begin to break down the wall of anger and hate and fear. Break that down and open up their hearts so that they can begin to receive those higher thoughts, so that they can actually feel what love is. It can become a recognized emotion.
Okay. So, speaking of sending out love, when we were having the the storms, the hurricanes that were really strong and about to cause great impact, there were many who started praying and sending love and healing and peace to the storm, to the hurricane.
Yes.
Did that make a difference? And what actually happened there? What was happening?
Yes, it made a difference. As I mentioned, anger and fear and all those emotions come in hard, like a hurricane, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What does love do? It softens. It pushes and softly, but it softens. Just imagine if those prayers had been sent early before it became a major danger. It could have softened it before it was even as bad as it was. But the fact that they sent that love, they sent those prayers, they sent that healing, they asked for forgiveness, softened it so that it wasn't as bad, that the impact wasn't as bad. But there's still been so much devastation. There's still been so much devastation.
Yes. There still was.
Yes.
And it could have been worse. But then, were those hurricanes reflective of our state of being and consciousness on a spiritual level right now?
They are a reflection, but not 100% due to that. So imagine you would have hurricanes in this season because it is that season, but they were amplified.
Yes.
The energy that you brought from this planet amplified them and made them worse than you've seen.
So our energy amplified and affected those hurricanes.
Yes.
We did that to ourselves.
Not completely. They would have been hurricanes. There would have been hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
The extremity of them, the power behind them, the force, that level was amplified, was made worse.
Okay.
So instead of it being a 1 or a 2, it becomes a 4 or a 5.
Okay. It was initially my belief that perhaps the man-made system amplified the hurricanes. Was I incorrect in that assumption?
Man-made is man-made is man-made.
A man-made system intentionally amplifying the hurricanes.
Not all of them.
Okay.
I believe the early one in your Houston was amplified dually by the man-made system and the energetically man-made impact.
Okay.
It is why it lingered. Unnaturally, yes.
Yes. It was unnatural.
But it had a double amplification. A test.
It was a test.
Yes. You cannot get into that, but it was a test of the system, not of the energetic effect, but of the system
Okay.
that was man made.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll just
I will
accept
say, we will say, the more the earth beings do that impact the health and wellness of the planet negatively, the more opportunities there will be by those who use that man made system to use it on the planet.
that. Oh, okay.
So minimize the opportunities by treating your earth a little bit more kindly.
Okay.
They have excuses right now because there is global warming, which is impacted by your actions as human beings. Well, if you minimize those actions, there's less of an excuse for the impacts that global warming has on your environment that can then be amplified or triggered by those systems. Understand?
Okay. What are some of the things that we're doing to affect the global warming?
You're over-consuming, overproducing.
Hmm.
You're draining the earth of its natural resources, of its power, of its energy. You're harnessing things that you should not be harnessing.
Such as?
Your natural resources, your water, your land, your timber. You're treating the earth as if she is disposable. And somehow you can recycle it. You cannot.
Oh, well. I guess we do
Humans
need.
act as if there's no repercussions for anything at times. Or else they do not consider that the repercussions may not be immediate, but they will be. And they will impact someone. Even if it is not those who take the action, it will impact others. And there's a responsibility in that.
Yes. It sounds like we do need to shift.
Yes, for your good. There must be a shift. And some will fear it because it is unfamiliar, it feels uncomfortable. And they are unsure of where it is going, how it will impact them. There's fear.
Yes,
And
I'm
on
sure.
many levels, we see this now. There's fear on many levels of the changes. However, it is necessary. And out of this will come a better human being.
May I ask one more question? What is happening to the sun, and where's the result of that heading?
The sun has flares. It shoots off flares, hotness. It's hot, hot. And it affects the entire planet. It affects other planets.
Okay.
Your system, your solar system, becomes warmer.
So, as the sun is it burning itself out?
In a slow way, yes. Very slow.
Okay.
It is nowhere near imminent.
Okay.
Do not worry about that.
Okay. All right. That was
Now you have plenty of time. You need to worry more about your own earth, which is wearing out under the pressure of your mankind.
hmm. Okay.
The sun will far outlast your earth, obviously. Your earth will be untenable if you do not care for it. The sun will still be there.
Well, there has been a lot of talk about the earth changing and going into another vibration, which I think that's what you were referring to, that it already has.
It
But
is, yes. It began before you all began.
so there's been some talk about two earths, one operating at a different vibration and one at a lower vibration for those who are not ready to ascend or make the shift to vibrate at that higher level. Is there anything to that, or can you maybe I could be explaining it wrong or asking the question incorrectly?
What is the heart of the question?
I just wanted to know if it is so that the earth was separating from a lower vibration to a higher consciousness, and that everyone would not be able to ascend with the earth to that higher vibration.
So, this is what we mentioned. Those who cannot raise their vibration will not remain. They will choose in some way, shape, fashion, form to exit.
Okay, but it will be still the same earth.
A different vibrational level, because all beings on it will have to be a different vibrational level.
Okay,
But generally the same planet. There are not
Okay.
two different planets in this situation that you're speaking of. There are different planets aligned in Earth. Earth has multiple. Yes, there's one planet that those who raise their vibration will continue to reside on.
okay,
Those who cannot will choose to exit.
okay. Will the animals, creatures, other living beings, ex- uh, eh, aside from the humans, will they also make shift to vibrate at a higher consciousness to match the Earth's and
Yes, they have
remain?
much less resistance. They are already much more in tune. It is easy for them.
Okay,
It is easy for all other living creatures.
okay,
Yes.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you, Seth. I think that would complete my questions.
Thank you. And so it is.
So it is. So it shall be. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, well, since we're recording, thank you for channeling Setha. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe and like below, and you will find additional information about our Spirit Speaks website, Facebook page, in the comments in the section below, and leave a comment. I'd like to know what you thought about this session and share it. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay? Bye bye now.
Bye-bye.